Okay, YouTube, I got the seal out. See, I done cut my finger up. I got it all taped up so it don't move. I'm gonna have to stop building for a couple of days, but I did get the seal out. It doesn't look bad. It also isn't really dirty or oil. So it seems to be like this is a good seal. I didn't tear it up really. Tell you how I did it. I broke my screwdriver trying to use pliers and turn it with the pliers, but I just ended up using this. It's got like two little flat spots on it. Put that in vice grips, and basically I end up in between this boss right here. So like a little counter lip for the bearing, and I didn't know, but I was prying the bearing. The bearing came out, so that's cool, I guess. I got a good bearing right there too now, but so that knocked the bearing all the way out. And then I just lightly tapped from this side with this flathead hammer right on the edge of where the seal was, and it came out. This is what we got. We got us a seal now. Dropped it in a little vinegar, cleaned it up. Um, yeah, so we're gonna pack this up with a little grease, put the grease behind it, probably like some petroleum jelly or something, but because I don't got bearing grease, and then I could put this in this motor. Uh, Yeah, I'm not gonna hesitate to just drill that one out. Let me just drill on that one out, just drill it out, and go from there. But then I'll be able to put this bearing in. I mean, this seal in. Doesn't look bad. Like I said, the side of the motor is phenomenally clean, if I would say less. But because I never got back here, you see, its motor got sprayed red. The flywheel never came off till I took it off to put it on this motor. So I've never been behind the flywheel on this engine. Um, so yeah, it should be a good seal. Um, and I'm gonna just slap it in here, try to get rid of the problem. And in lieu of doing that, I know better now. I'm gonna have to figure out me a check valve here, buy another check valve. I got a catch can I made, but I misplaced it. But yeah, so that or just I'll run this open, but I don't want oil blowing everywhere. So a lot of people say that they don't even get oil all the way up here. Now, however, I don't understand why that there's oil here. Didn't come off of the seal. It might be blowing out of these tubes. Right here on this second tube was a little hole I super glue closed. I'm gonna put some bigger hoses and run it down to here, run it up, and see what happens. I might need to take this cover off and seal around these brass fittings. This is something that I did myself. This is a regular stock valve cover. I mean, not valve cover, side cover. So I might have to try and fix that because I don't know where this oil came from, but it had to be from those fittings or something. The second one is definitely oily. I don't know if you can see that on there, but it's definitely oily. Definitely oily. So we're gonna try to figure it out. But I know for sure that there was a lot. Being that all that oil is on this table, kind of black, so you can't really see it. But oh, there you go, a little puddle of oil on the table there. You know, so we're gonna have to put that seal in there and go from there. Another point of me saying I do it for less. I just took the seal out of the old parts motor. Most of all of these parts came off of this engine that's on this black one. Bought this thing off Facebook Marketplace for $10. Came bare. Just had like a crank, piston rod and stuff in it, and a head on it. Didn't have no coil pack, no flywheel, nothing of that nature. And it was kind of rusty, so it was probably out in the elements. I put the head I had on my motor on there that I ported. I just put the side cover on there and my head and valve cover. This is the tank off of this motor. This motor did come with a tank. That's the gas cap from the tank. Um, but yeah, so I'm gonna put this seal in there and continue to go from there. But it did run good last night. I just think that I blew that oil out of there because I had that screw into this tube that comes out of the valve cover there. Come out the valve cover. That's usually supposed to be a check valve, and I think I blocked this off and made no way for the air to escape, so the pressure built up in the motor and it had to go somewhere. Now, if people do know about this, I would like for you to tell me, because if I don't have to change this, I wouldn't. If I don't have to do all this work, I wouldn't. It's not really a lot of work, but still, I would rather not take it back apart. But I'm gonna do it if nobody talks to me in comments first. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. I got the seal here, got it out of this block. It was in this block. See, I kind of like mauled up the block down here a little bit. It's cool. This block's no good. It has a big old hole in it. I put a flat top piston in this thing, 22-pound valve springs, ported head, and like a 28 millimeter carburetor, or 24, I think it was. And this thing blew up in one day. We was running it hard, wide open. Wasn't no break into it. It was, we just got on it and got it. But we blew it up. So yeah, this is the bottom of the rod there. It blew up. That's the bottom of the rod. Yeah. So when you try to do performance on these little small engines like this for your mini bike go kart, if you do too much, you know that you're prone to failure at some point. So just keep that in mind. If you change out that rod, they say it's a lot better, but I'm not worried about it. This like I say, this is just a $10 motor that I revived using all of these pieces from a blown up engine I kept around. I'll be using it as a jig to weld up pipes and make mounts for like mini bikes that don't got the big mounts for big block engines or whatnot. So this is where I'm at though. I only spent about $10 on this motor, and this is all of the stuff that's off of this motor on there. And it looked good. I made this pipe out of bicycle fork, chrome bicycle fork, 29-inch bicycle fork. This here is a chrome 20-inch bike rear end, that runs to the tire. So that's, like I said, I didn't buy a valve cover. This is made. Didn't buy the side cover. All of this stuff is made. Regular side cover and valve cover here. So, right now it's running a regular carburetor. It ran decent. I got a nice carb over here for it though, jet kit and everything, but I don't know that I'm gonna put it on there. I like the idea of staying cheap as I can with this thing, running it for cheap, $10 motor. Everything is built in house, and that's where we're at. If anybody knows about this though, if I had this problem where they block off this check valve hole where the check valve used to be, and then it start blowing oil out of the seals, I want to know if the seal is all the way bad or is it still usable. Anybody let me know, but last resort, I got this seal, so I'm gonna just put this one on it and go from there. It looks decent, looks good. Cleaned it up a little bit. It's ready to go in. I'm back with a little grease and send it on home. All right.